American Sniper is about a bounty hunter/mercenary whose mastery of weapons and battle tactics make him a formidable warrior. Despite being a genetically altered, cybernetically enhanced talking raccoon, Rocket is a genuine gun-toting. This is wrong! American Sniper follows Navy SEAL Chris Kyle and his journey through the Iraq War, facing morally questioning obstacles, suffering PTSD, battlefield withdrawal, and learning what glory really feels like. If you know nothing about the real Chris Kyle, do yourself a favor and watch the movie before you go Google wild.
A movie directed by Clint Wood, and an actor in this movie did the voice of Rocket in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Chris Kyle is the main character in this movie.
Most true stories translated to the silver screen, done well or awful, usually have liberties taken, with efforts aimed at telling a concise, cohesive, and interesting story. Thusly, a number of hot topic, disproven anecdotes are left out, and some of his very specific character traits were modified to create a more compelling and sympathetic character. While some of you may equate that to a load of fat donkey crap, I agreed with this decision because I cared a ton about movie version Chris Kyle.
This is a warning of children. Don't bring your kid to watch this unless they're a grown-up or a teenager, because there's a lot of scary parts. The Indians or Africans are attacking states, or I think countries. They are trying to save their country from getting attacked. What I really liked about this movie is that it talks about a true story.
The film steers clear of conspiratorial reasons for the Iraq War and surrounding politics. It may bother some that American Sniper neglects to challenge the Bush administration's narrative or events to the end political argument, but to that, I counter. The story is kept grounded by staying true to the perspective of our main character, vis-a-vis the cause and effect he sees, which inspires his response. Again, while some of you may equate that to sleeping with an AIDS-ridden, Ebola-stricken zombie, I think this was the best way to go.
The main idea of this movie is fighting people, I think. American Sniper was tiring for me, but I think you will like it because I'm just a kid. It was kind of boring for me. Daddy was watching it like it was so cool, and he kept talking to me.
The crux of American Sniper is the arguable philosophy that there are three kinds of people: sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Whether you agree with this or not, the film is true to this philosophy through and through. And yet, it explores things in such a way that by the end, you feel like you have PTSD. In a good way, trust me. It is the most anti-war, pro-military movie ever made. It simultaneously explains the supposed necessity of war while telling us how wretched and ugly it is. There is no victory. There is just the ongoing fight, whether it is real or imagined.
I was like this. But I still thought it was incredible. It was very detailed. Nobody made a mistake. I want to ask them how they got that action to look so real. And all the characters I liked are Chris Kyle and his family.
In a strange and almost neutral way, the movie puts details in your lap so you can decide for yourself if war is ever the answer. And it also says that regardless of those details, we lost very good men. Some may see this as pro-military propaganda, and others may call it indecisive. I think they simply made a very compelling film.
I have a friend that's named Kyle, and he likes watching my videos. Thank you, Kyle, for watching my videos. I hope you get to watch The American Sniper.
Ignoring my personal feelings about the Iraq War and war in general, and details on how Chris Kyle really behaved, just taking the movie on its own merits, American Sniper is one of the best movies of 2014 and was an incredible film to close out the year with.
On a scale of, this movie is so boring, I'm about to fall asleep, 2. Wow. I give it a incredible. I will go to this director right now and I'll shake him and say, oh yeah, thank you for making this movie. Thank you.
On a scale of, I want my 2 hours and 20 minutes back, to, well, best romantic comedy of the decade. I give it a 2 hours and 20 minutes. It felt like 10 years. And I lived it all, like Inception, a dream within a dream. I was there. We were there. It was a great movie. And based on the style of direction, I'm convinced Clint Eastwood has started playing Call of Duty. Now you gotta ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Mr. Obama, you gotta do better than that to beat me. Best 3 out of 5.